Rust Belt, a mission that's too easy to fail, but just hard enough that you are out of reach of that S rank. The messy and confusing map makes it easy to get distracted and rush things. After an embarrassing amount of attempts, I managed to S rank the mission. I'm going to share some tips and tricks to help you do the same. First up, the loadout. I highly recommend the pepper ball rifle. The enemies are not super aggressive and are not wearing armor. Give your teammates the pepper ball gun too, unless you want them to fishnet a bunch of guys and ruin your score. Even if you do decide to go lethal with a submachine gun, make sure you give your team the pepper ball gun. You want to bring a pile of flashbangs to give you the best shot at stacking up arrests in the tight hallways. I find it better for this map especially to not equip anyone with a riot shield. The ground and terrain is super rough and clunky. Your team ends up getting stuck when you stack them up on doors to breach, which has given me psychopath tendencies, so take my advice. Now the toughest part, right at the start and right at the end. At the beginning you are outside of the ranch. You need to peek down that long road and try your best to see if there is an enemy behind the car near the rightmost entry of the drug house. This is going to determine what route you take at the start. If nobody's straight down the road, then you're going to keep going straight and make a left into the barn and clear it out. Most of the time there's an enemy or a civilian in the barn. And of course, your team wants to start a contest on who can yell the loudest to let everyone know that you're there. You do not want to exit out on the other side. You want to make a right through the doorway before the other side and have your team flash and clear that outside section. Alternatively, if you see an enemy at the end of the road at the start, then you want to make a left, which will take you down and around to the other side of the barn. I found that I usually get spotted right away when I take this route, so I suggest throwing a flashbang right away once you can see the house. If not, go through the barn.
Soft lights through the window, city hum in the distance.
If you've managed to get through the yard without you or your team killing anyone, then you can take a breather. Don't forget to let your pepper ball gun do the work. Even upper body shots are not lethal, so if you enter a room and an enemy does not immediately give up, you are good to spray them up. I like to enter the house on the right side. It's a little bit less cluttered, and if you open the door at the right angle, you have a safe opportunity to chuck a flashbang in without getting shot. And so, the real challenge in the next section is the layout, which is confusing as hell. There are caves, side paths, and shortcuts. It's really easy to lose track of where you've already been. The game even says that the SWAT team doesn't have intel on what's going on the inside, so yeah, they aren't lying. My advice, pick a route and stick to it. Don't zigzag, don't get cute. Clear systematically one section at a time. I did not mention this when I was talking about my loadout, but you want to bring the mirror gun. There are tons of doorways with cartel members lurking behind them, and it's super easy to take them by surprise when you know where they're at. One thing you want to keep in mind is that cartel members are close by and they can hear you, and they're super nosy. They're going to open up doors and take you by surprise. This is one scenario where your annoying teammates do come in handy because they'll start yelling at them when they open the door. A couple of tips to prevent you from getting lost are the trolley tracks. They'll take you right to the end of the map. And there's this little symbol on the wall. It kind of looks like a butterfly to me, but it's not, definitely not a butterfly. But that points back to the beginning of the map. Don't have a particular route that I've memorized that I think is best, but I favor the more close quarters areas of the map. I find that this tends to be like the left side, so you want to take advantage of your mirror gun to check a room before you go in, and the close quarters areas are fine because your pepper ball gun gives you the opportunity to spray somebody down right away if they take you by surprise. Whereas those long hallways are not going to be as good with your pepper ball gun because it kind of falls off in range. That being said, you kind of do have to clear the entire map, so you're going to end up in those long hallways eventually. If you do end up encountering somebody from long range and you can take them by surprise, you want to throw a flashbang at them to stun them. That's why I like to take so many, and you want to make sure that you have one saved for the last part of the map. In general, and this goes for any mission in the game, if you're wandering around without your team, clearing in front of you, you want to have them following you, because if you haven't checked out my AI video, the enemies react based on the danger level, and so if your team's with you, they're more likely to surrender. Whereas if you were alone, they might get a little ballsy on you. Now, the end of the mission, that's where it ramps back up. It's a little bit similar to the beginning in that it's a big open area where there are usually 3 to 4 enemies. I suggest entering through the middle entrance, which is a set of double doors. Have your team flash and clear, but when they open the door, chuck your own flashbang deep into the room to get those enemies in the back stunned. Don't forget that there's 2 soft objectives that you also need to get. The one is at the end, it's the boat, and the second one's at the beginning, it's the passports on the table in the kitchen, in the house that you start off at. So that's Rust Belt. Easier than some of the missions I've covered, but if you want that S rank, you gotta be deliberate from start to finish. Hopefully this helps you nail it too. If it did, let me know down in the comments and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.